producers for the film breached. Throughout this whole experience, I, along with the members of my group, have had a great time. This experience began in a very odd way for me, joining a group only to have it fall apart days later. I ended up joining a new group and did not regret my decision. Our group began by formulating what genre we would like for our film to encompass. I personally preferred an action movie, but ended up shying away from the idea due to a lack of accessible props and ample resources. We ended up settling on the genre of thriller or suspense. It was an interesting choice, as a genre hybrid is not something I would have originally thought of. We began doing our research and coming up with new ways to incorporate the selected genre into a film. I decided that our movie should be about some sort of hacking event, and the idea kind of stuck. Originally, we were planning on creating suspense through a man in a hoodie exiting out of some things on his computer and then revealing his face through reflection. But that idea quickly fell through, which led to what we have now. The final product that I now present to you encompasses many of the ideas that I had in my head, but had difficulty putting into a piece. I took a great deal of inspiration from the 1999 science fiction film, The Matrix. This movie was a very interesting concept for its time, and the ideas present in the film have only been furthered by the amazing advances in technology the world is able to see today. One of the biggest influences to me was the green hacking text that was present in the introductory credits to the film. As you can see, throughout my film, I put a great deal of emphasis on the green text in order to convey that there is some sort of a hack occurring. I also used some shots of the computer monitors and were able to further establish the idea of a hack. One of the main issues that I had was conveying the overall idea of what our hacker stole. I ended up refraining from including any sort of visual idea of what he did take. This was mainly to reflect on the genre of a thriller or suspense, along with providing a cliffhanger as to why he was running. Throughout the opening credits, I threw in a few shots of the main character running downstairs. This mainly functioned as a way to foreshadow the man running away from something, although the viewer does not know from what. Furthermore, I created suspense through the use of the phone noise in the opening shots. The whole goal of using this was to make the viewer question who was calling. At this point in the film, it could have really been anyone, but that question is answered later. There is further insight provided into the hacker by revealing his face. This shot was one of my favorite in the film, mainly due to the reflection of the green text off of his glasses. Originally, there was a rack focus from the green text in the glasses to the character's eyes, but in the editing process, I trimmed down the clip in order to take some time off the overall length of the project and to further increase the fast-paced atmosphere of the opening. In one of the following shots, we are introduced to who is calling on the phone, the FBI. This further creates more suspense, relating to exactly what this man is doing. The way we achieved this was pretty cool. The phones in my house read off the caller ID of who is calling. So we changed the caller ID on one of my friend's phones to read FBI. I used sound as one of the main components to creating interest in the film. The soundtrack that I chose was found on YouTube, and after a good amount of searching, I found the right one for me. It incorporates both electronic noises and suspenseful drops, which work very well with the film. Furthermore, I use the sound in both the typing, the phone, the door closing, and the FBI at the front door sequences. This helps the viewer further understand the film and makes everything more dramatic. One of the most interesting parts of the film for me was the burning of the CD. My original goal was to burn a hard drive in order to show that the hacker was destroying evidence. But the thing would not catch on fire, and it was not looking too cool. One of my friends suggested that I burn a CD, which I originally laughed at but had to resort to it eventually. The shot was one of the more controversial ones in the film, at least in my opinion, because it really doesn't show too much, and the viewer may have been confused. However, it does show the hacker is burning something, which does further suspense. And finally, my favorite part of the film, the outro title. I love this part so much. It took some inspiration from the opening credits of the video game Battlefield 3, where there's this glitching effect placed on the main developer's logos. I really like this effect and decided to use it within my own film. I used Adobe After Effects in order to render this title, and I think the final result looks great. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching my film, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it.